Good morning. We are live with Women of Vision. This is Casey Strohmeyer. We're going live on Facebook and Instagram, so I might be looking back and forth at the cameras to say hello and check any comments that are popping up. We'll wait a few seconds for people to join. First, I will start by reading the Women of Vision mission statement. We have Jeri watching on Instagram. Thanks, you guys, for jumping on and this morning. The mission statement for Women of Vision. Women of Vision is a movement. We are women empowering women locally and globally. We connect female professionals and entrepreneurs to fuel a fundamental paradigm shift from competition to collaboration, apathy to accountability. Collectively, we will encourage powerful women to become change agents in our community and throughout the world. And our vision is together, Women of Vision will promote, support, motivate, and empower each other to achieve our dreams. With a spirit of integrity and excellence, we will motivate and thrive, activating our unique abilities. By empowering each other, we will not only achieve our personal and professional goals, but positively affect our communities, economically, ethically, and socially, to then duplicate success in women throughout Reading and beyond. So that is an awesome statement that I believe Marie's came up with that, our founder, Marie's Brown. She's an amazing woman, and we all love her and thank her for starting this group because we've all grown from it and learned a lot and developed new friendships, which is awesome. So this morning we have with us Jeri Cates. Good morning, Jeri.
Good morning. Hi, everybody.
Jeri, you said you're moving to Sacramento. Are you in Reading right now?
I'm in Shasta Lake.
Shasta Lake. Okay. So we are doing a remote live with Jeri. So thank you all for watching. I'll give you guys some waves, high fives. Hey, Norma. Hey, Marilyn. And on Instagram, it's hard to tell sometimes what your names are because the Instagram handle is not your name. So I will formally introduce Jeri. She's a courage and grace coach. Jeri is a graduate of the Feminine Power Transformational Life Coaching and Global Leadership Programs. Her mission of learning everything she can about self-discovery, self-improvement, metaphysics, and law of attraction has spanned over 40 years. Wow, that's awesome. I like that. Jeri Cates earned her Master's of Science in Nursing degree with a family nurse practitioner specialty from Sonoma State University in 2009. She practiced 18 years as a registered nurse with the last 9 years as a nurse practitioner. From homelessness to earning her bachelor's degree in nursing and then going on to master's degree, Jeri has faced and overcome her share of loss, adversity, and challenges in life, all of which makes her passionate about inspiring others to take charge of their own lives. Or, I got that right, yes. Yeah. And then that's amazing. Jeri came to realize she was yearning from something more than her nursing career could provide. The realization that she is here to make a bigger impact in the world has been transformative in her life. Jeri helps you identify the deep emotional pain that holds you back. She teaches you how to release the old patterns that keep you stuck and helps you write a new story of your life. She helps you identify your deepest desires and get clear on your vision of what you want to manifest. The bridge between wanting and having something is action. In April 2018, Jeri published a collection of motivational quotes, a book called Inspirations 1001 Motivational Quotes, April 2018. And that's available through Amazon. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I'll have to check that out. I'm always looking for inspirational quotes. Today, Jeri is going to talk about self-care. So, Jeri, would you tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, and how you got started?
Well, I grew up in the Bay Area, and I think it's significant to mention that I grew up in an abusive home. And when an abused child leaves the home, they continue the abuse. I had a therapist say that to me in my 20s. And the things that come with that are low self-esteem, putting someone else first, and huge issues of codependency. So that's really my passion, is to identify those things that we tell ourselves that make us, that dim our light, that make us less than who we really are. The homelessness came out of codependent relationships. Um, but I've always been one to ask for help and want to learn, more, and have a deeper connection with myself. I just felt so disconnected. So it was that beginning that made me a really good nurse, because nurses and teachers are the caring professions. I know this is probably not a news flash. There's a lot of, we put others first. There's a lot of codependency in those professions, and addiction, actually. So this is my story. And I think that it's not that I'm not alone, that we all have variations of feelings that I'm not enough, or I'm not worthy. Even, we can be very successful and have sides of it that, we tell ourselves, oh, I can't do that, or things that hold us back. So, yeah, that's where it started. But I grew up in the Bay Area, and I've been up here in Redding 3.5 years. I moved up here with my husband, who I reunited with after 39 years, and we had 3 years together, and he passed away, but he left me very loved.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's good. And you can feel that way and share those stories. That's brave. Not a lot of people can do that. So I commend you for that. So if you're watching on Instagram, I'm holding my phone so you can see Jeri, because we are doing our live remotely. So I hope that you can see her okay. If you have any questions along the way through our live, please put them in the comments so I can read them to Jeri and let her know, and she can answer that for you. So we have Norma watching and Marie's. Thank you, ladies, for watching. Good to see you this morning. So through your challenges in life, knowing that you needed to do something, and becoming a life coach, how does that make you feel now?
When I coach, even right now, I have it's a spiritual experience for me. I know as a nurse, I would, I went into nursing because nurses are teachers. A nurse told me nurses were teachers, and she was right. But the look on someone's face when they realize they matter and they count is so powerful, because that's transformative. So it makes me feel good. It makes me feel energized and like I'm making a difference in a way that nurtures me as well. Because the old pattern was put everyone first, forget about myself. Well, even on an airplane, if your child's sitting next to you, they tell you to take the oxygen first, right? So we have to find a way to take care of ourselves.
Yeah. Right. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. So very good point. Yeah, I've heard that. Sorry. Why are you called the Courage and Grace Coach?
So when my husband passed away, I was just beginning my feminine power training. I actually had been in it 3 years, and then I started the coaching training, literally 3 days after he passed away. And so I was using my skills. And what that was about was treating myself as if I was my dearest friend. And people would ask me, you seem like you're doing really well. How are you getting through this? And I kept saying, I moved through this with courage and grace. So I was talking to a coach one day and told her that story. And she says, I know, we'll call you the Courage and Grace Coach. So I looked it up in a metaphysical dictionary. And courage is the strength to face adversity, emotional pain, and the unknown. And grace is the spirited freedom that arises from living in harmony with yourself. And I just love that. That definitely is what I want to show up as. So that's where I got the Courage and Grace Coach. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like that name. Work. How do you
coaching? So what we do is ask questions, I lean in and listen for the emotional responses. There's a lot of processes that we do in Feminine Power that help you go back and look at your life in a safe manner. To go in, there's a meditative process where you go and you're the observer. You don't have to live in the trauma, but notice what's going on. And those early patterns are usually deep rooted, and they create a paradigm. And even though we want something better, we continue to live in that false belief. So coaching is about asking questions that make you think. It's funny. I was coaching someone the other night and she kept saying, "That's a good question." So I know I'm on track when I'm asking, something that somebody's going, "Oh, okay." So, but as a coach, I'm not there to be a friend. I'm there to hold a space and to lift you up. There's a difference, and it also depends on what a friend is. Like there's evolutionary partnerships, and that's what that is, versus a friend like for instance, colluding. Say you're in a relationship and it doesn't go well and you're crying to your friend and she goes, "Oh, well, he was a jerk anyway," versus, you have such possibility. You have so much going for you. Do you see the difference? So that's how it works. It's asking those powerful questions that help you shift and connect with yourself.
Yeah, I was keeping it positive, not like bringing up the negative.
Well, I think there's a safe way to bring up the negative, or a safer way. A lot of times when I do the processes, I make sure that I tell them get some Kleenex, because it touches deep. That's where that emotional pain is, but like there's a process of first feeling what it feels like. The best thing about being the age you are now, and this is a meditative process. Your eyes are closed and think about the accomplishments that you have, that what the wisdom you have at the age you are now. And then find that safe place, and then think about the thing that's bothering you or that you can't seem to get traction on, and then create that safe space. You're just the observer. If there's any trauma or things going on, you're just the observer. You're taking in valuable information, and notice what's going on. What are people saying to you? How are you feeling? And then after that process, I have them journal, and a lot of times it's like, well, my dad left me, and so they've ingrained this I'm not worthy, or I'm not valued, I'm not lovable. There are underlying things that we can be successful, but that there's this part of our life that we just can't seem to get traction on. Does that answer that?
Yeah, right. And it doesn't happen overnight, right?
Right.
It takes time.
And we have to be patient. A lot of times people are going, "Oh, I'm not caught up. I'm not caught up." And that's another judgment. You're right where you need to be every moment. Right. Mm-hmm. And I mean, so many women live with shame, isolation, guilt. And that's the old belief systems, or the old story that says I'm not enough. So what we do is unpack that, take a look at what's the story. What am I telling myself? It's like, say you're in a situation and you feel your contraction in your stomach, you're starting to get upset. If you can pause long enough and ask yourself, what am I feeling? What's my belief? Where did I get that? What's the truth? So I might be afraid, and I might believe I'm not enough, or I'm not lovable. And then where did I get that? I might have got it from a parent or an early caregiver. And then what's the truth? The truth is that I'm more than enough to be loved. And then starting to envision what's that look like in my life. I remember when I started Feminine Power, one of the coaches said, if you want love in your life, show up as the woman you want to be in that relationship. And I thought, wow, that's cool. Well, what does that feel like? And that was the point. 30 days later, I reunited with my husband after 39 years.
Wow.
So it's how you show up. It's the vibration you put out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you want to be a certain person or be a certain way. I've heard this over and over for a long time. you have to become that person, right?
Mhm.
By changing, making changes. And so you can't expect to get that until you change.
Until you open up to possibility. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of us will go, oh, I want a guy or I want a successful business, but we don't take the time to identify what is that. Get really clear on it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then notice where the energy is, because when you're excited about something, you're almost there. You know, when where there the excitement is, that's where the magic is, and that's where the manifestation is. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we often go through life and we kind of skim over and say, yeah, I want that.
Right.
But we have to be clear and show
And
up as that.
and would you say you can have that clear in just your mind, or should you write it down so you have it to look at every day?
You write it down. You know, there's another technique of doing mirror work, talking to yourself in the mirror. Louise Hay did it. She wrote a book on it. I think it was called Mirror Work. But that's one of the techniques I do in coaching, in my free coaching hour. I do an introductory coaching. I have people bring a mirror and say affirmations, but I help find out what affirmations, by what they say. You know, they might say, I'm afraid. And then I help turn it around to courage or certainty. I find the words that resonate with them, and then I have them look in the mirror and say those. And it's interesting how hard it is for us to look at ourselves in the mirror. It's so powerful to
Mhm.
connect with yourself that way. So it's more than just writing it down, it's showing up as that. Look at someone who has their life isn't going well, they complain all the time. We are an outer manifestation of what we're thinking about ourselves. So if I'm having low thoughts or victimization thoughts, I'm going to get more of that. But
Right.
if I can raise it up to a higher place and put that kind of vibration out, and notice when I'm having a thought that's a low thought and shifting it, then I start to attract. But it's more than writing it down, although that's really important. It's about, your mind listens to your mouth, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So censoring that, you know, as it comes out. And if you notice that you're thinking negative thoughts, identify it and then think a new thought, right? But saying, oh, I'm not going to think that thought, or I'm not going to think about that, the subconscious doesn't hear I'm not, it hears think that thought. So you really have to consciously create a new positive thought. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So where did you like do your classes or certifications? What programs did you go to?
I went through Feminine Power. I've been working with them about 5 years, and I was part of they hadn't done a coaching training in 10 years.
Okay.
And the training's been amazing. Like, I'm getting ready to sign up to be a coach for coaches to support them in their learning. It's a long process. It was a year-long process of Feminine Power. How do I explain this? Claire Zamet is the founder of Feminine Power, and you can go and look her up. And she has empowered and inspired women all over the world, hundreds of thousands of women all over the world. This training has taught me processes that help me connect to myself. Like, one of them is how to forge a deeper connection with yourself. Imagine if you just say to yourself, what it, what are you feeling? And just listen.
Mm-hmm. Listen to your
What
subconscious.
Yeah, what are you feeling? And then and then reflecting it back, and what do you need? And that technique alone, it forges that deeper connection. It's emotional alchemy. There's a transformation that goes on with it. So those are the kinds of techniques that I've learned, and they helped me. I remember my husband and I were having a rough time the last year he was alive, and my friend said, I watched you guys, you were having a rough time, I thought you were going to break up. And then he said, but then you turned it around little by little into something beautiful. I didn't know you could do that in a relationship. And what it was utilizing my tools, you know. So it helps you get in a new space and be more solid with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like the
So,
power.
what?
It's like the power of positivity.
Yes.
I think we have a delay in our sound here.
Well,
Right.
the thing is building new muscles. When like doing power practices and things like that, building new muscles. The thing is it actually doing it. A lot of times we have this feeling of, I know I used to, and sometimes I still deal with it, where it's like, you know what you should be doing, but you don't do it, right? You get in those places of, oh, it's almost like I'm standing there with my hand blocked, keeping myself from doing it, and that's about old stories. And that's a form of self-abandonment. And when I heard that, I went, wow, okay, I don't want to abandon myself, because we learn it from other people and then we continue the behavior. So having rituals, having daily rituals, meditation, journaling, getting exercise, it could be having a cup of tea under your favorite tree, but having that space of mindfulness instead of just diving into the day and running. It's that taking that time for yourself and being consistent, building those muscles. So, yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Okay.
a wonderful exercise. I'm 100% responsible for what I say, what I think, what I feel, and what I do. And just closing your eyes and being in that space and
Mhm.
feeling what that feels like. And after a few minutes, you really get connected to that. I know when I was doing it, the coach said, okay, because I was feeling some resentment, and she goes, okay, where's the resentment? And it was like I stood up in this big field and I said, there's no room for resentment. So when we're in that space, there's no room for those old thoughts. So that's what the transformational life coaching is about. It's about having those tools and going there on a regular basis. Yeah.
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 All right. Well, what is something that you're excited about for your business this year? It's a new year. So, what are your
Well,
plans?
one of the things is I want to do a TED Talk. I have no idea how it's going to happen, but I want to do a TED Talk.
That's
I've been
awesome.
I've been going to Toastmasters, so I highly recommend Toastmasters. Is a great group here in Reading. If you want to do public speaking, I'm getting better and better all the time. They have an counter, which is great. You start to get aware of how often you say those things. There's one. The other thing is I want to do groups. I want to do large groups of like a 2-day process. So when I get to Sacramento, I'm going to start planning it and maybe do a meetup group. I'm also writing a book. It's called How to Be Your Own Advocate in Today's Healthcare. And it's an empowerment book, but it's a sneaky way to empower people.
Yeah,
So I'm drawing from my medical experience. And I do have a chapter in there called, So You Got a Pill for That?
that's good. That's
But
cool. I like that.
but my vision is I'm getting ready to start a job down there. But my vision is some one-on-one coaching and getting my business off the ground so that in another year or 18 months, I can actually quit my job. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, good. That's a good
Mm-hmm.
goal to have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you like to talk about anything else while we're here?
Well, I have a website. It's jericates.com. And if you go to meditations, there's a great meditation that I got from Feminine Power. And it is about identifying your wise self and then your spiritual self and bringing these parts of you into the circle, and your witness self. And it's that ability to step back and look at your life without judgment, and your future self and what that looks like. And she brings you a gift, and there's significance to that. But I also have some motivational videos. Yeah. So it's jericates.com. And I offer a free 1-hour coaching. So you can sign up for it on the website. Yeah, and you just click the site. Okay. Yeah.
That sounds good. And are you on Facebook as well for your business?
I am, and I have a business page, and I have the Courage and Grace group. And I actually haven't posted lately. I've been in the middle of moving, and it was so beautiful. Somebody wrote to me and said, "Hey, where are you?" So I should actually do my journey. I think I'm going to start, doing my journey of this transition, because moving, new job, all of those things, those can be really stressful. And I think it's important to have resilience, do those self-care things, reach out and have connections. A lot of us, it's tough for us to ask for help. So get in the habit of not only asking for help, but showing up with other people and that community, kind of like what you're doing here with this project. It's beautiful. I loved the vision statement and everything at the beginning. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I will give out the Women of Vision information unless you want to give anything else to our viewers.
Oh, just that you can join my Facebook group by going to my business page, Jeri Cates, the Courage and Grace Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm excited to watch some of your lives too. Real quick, how often do you do lives?
I haven't done a lot lately. I've got them on videos in my, I was doing one called Weekend Wisdom, and on YouTube, there's a whole bunch of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably get them going again. But, I did a 30-day challenge, and I'm learning that the lives, my challenge is that I tend to want to give so much information, so I'm learning to make them shorter and more powerful. Yeah.
I do the same thing. I talk too much and then like, I need to make that like 10 minutes, 15. Norma says, please type in Jeri's website. We can do that after the live.
Okay.
We'll type your website. Sure. Let's see. Somebody from the Women of Vision page says, powerful words.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah. I just want to show my book.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's pretty too.
And if you go to and I took that picture, and you can go on, it was Amazon, it was Create Space, and write a book and publish it and get an ISBN number or whatever that is. And this is a book of quotes. There's two pieces I wrote in the beginning, and a lovely dedication to my husband. I also wrote an article on soulmates. It's on my website under blogs, and it's called What Comes After a Soulmate.
Hey, I like that. I mean, that could even work after a divorce, right? Because it can kind of feel like you lost somebody.
Well,
do you agree?
Yeah, and what I learned is a soulmate is there to teach you lessons, to teach you to look at yourself. I'm thinking I'm going to write this article about soulmates, and I'm realizing that they come teach you and they freaking leave. you want a life partner, right? Somebody who's already been through their stuff, and you want a conscious and evolved partner, someone who's conscious, who's accountable, who's responsible. And then how do you get that? You show up as that. But in the beginning, there's a little story about where the word soulmate come from. I'll let you read it yourself. But yeah, it was cool. So I plan on doing more writing. I love to write.
Oh, awesome. I'm just getting into reading more books, so I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, this one, you can open it and read and have a quote for the day. And they're all organized under, some of them are repeated because like attitude, decision, hope. So you can either just open it and have a quote or go to a specific thing if you need that kind of support.
Okay. Can you give us the name of your book again?
It's Inspirations. You can find it on my website under books. And if you click the book, you can buy it. It puts you to Amazon. But it's called Inspirations, 1001 Motivational Quotes. Here's the thing for visualization. When I held this book, it was a coach that got me to do this. We worked on it together. But when you hold something like this, or when I do, if you want to write a book, if you think, I want to write a book one day, when you hold something like this with your name on it, it is so powerful. Because one of my books is going to be With Courage and Grace, a story of love, loss, and resilience. That'll be a story. But it catapults you to the next level. Yeah.
I think a lot of us in these days need stuff like that. I mean, no matter who you are, how you're, doing in your life, you want to continue to better yourself, personal development, no matter how good you think you are. I think everybody should do it.
Well, we never stop learning, right?
Right.
You know, this book, I published it on my 60th birthday. And I thought that was so cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
You're an
yeah.
inspiration, Jeri. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yeah, we really appreciate you being on our Facebook Live show for Women of Vision.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, and thank you everybody for watching. We had a good amount of viewers on Instagram and Facebook. And if you're watching the replay, you can leave comments and Jeri can check that and give you some answers. We will put her website in the comments afterwards and where you can purchase the book and any other information you might want. Just leave it in the comments. Again, I'm Casey Strohmeyer, and we just interviewed Jeri Cates. She is a courage and grace coach. So
Yeah.
if you would like to watch more on Women of Vision, you can go to our YouTube channel, Women of Vision Movement. We have a website, womenofvisionmovement.com. We have a podcast, which is on Hella Radio every Saturday, and we do our Women of Vision Facebook Lives every other Friday. So 2 Fridays from now, we'll have another one. So stay tuned for that. And our next social is going to be a hike to Chammy's Peak on the 18th. Check our Facebook page for events. And then we have a workshop tomorrow, 10 to 1. And that information is also on the Facebook page. That's with Michelle at Fiercely Fresh Life. Aim high, take action in 2019. So thank you again, Jeri, and our viewers. We hope you have an awesome day and make it a good one. Ciao.
Bye. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Attitude. And 2 lives here at once.